What's good, Lifted Legends? It's your boy Adrian here, bringing you guys a new video here today. And I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking like, why is he covering H1Z1? H1Z1's been dead, all this other good stuff. But I do kind of have a heart for it still, because I did enjoy the game generally when I played it. I really did have a great enjoyment period with the game. I just felt like they hadn't been really updating it. Seeing to how as I have got a little bit of news here, I feel as if this news is definitely good enough to bring to you guys, and is actually something really positive for the game. So let's go ahead and jump into the news for today. So we already know we had a pretty crappy season 4. I'm not gonna lie, season 4 was pretty lackluster for the game. The battle pass was lackluster, the arcade mode was lackluster, and it just kind of seemed like they didn't care to a certain extent. I would say the best thing we probably got out of season 4 was third person ADS and the Lambos. But if you guys want to tell me anything different in the comments, definitely feel free to. But today we actually have some pretty good news for H1Z1 season 5, and starting off with that news, the very first thing I want to get off my chest, we actually have a new map. Thank goodness, dude. We've been crying for it, we've been whining for it. It's been like, what now, a year since it released, and we're just now getting our first actual map, which I'm very I don't want to even say excited for at this point. I'm happy that it's getting something new. It's just something new to try out, pretty much. But as you guys can see on screen here, it's kind of like a weird canyon in a way. It's called Outland, so I assume that it's kind of like in a canyon from this first image. Bridge, well, 2-3 bridges here, some trees. It seems pretty basic at this point. Here in this next image, as you guys can see, it's kind of like clay buildings to a certain extent. I don't know exactly where this would take place. Some of these screenshots, I feel like they could have either did a better job as far as like trying to show off the map, or this map just seems pretty lackluster. And I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy. I am happy we are getting a new map, but it looks kind of dead. No pun intended. This screenshot right here, guys, is directly from it. This is a perfect representation of what the H1Z1 community looks like right now. When you look out into these different communities and just look at it, like, dude, it's dead, just like them trees. Y'all see it on screen, dude. It's ridiculous. So those are the 3 screenshots they actually started us off with, just showing off the map. They really haven't shown any other screenshots of the map, but those screenshots could have been a lot better. But fortunately enough, those aren't the only screenshots we got here today. Right along with that new map being launched, they're actually launching new vehicles and weapons right along with it, which I feel like is a great idea, but in actuality is still a small amount of things. But as time builds up and it progresses, hopefully we actually get more out of them. I'm just hoping it continues with the positivity, and each season maybe we can get a new map, or probably get to the point where we get 2 or 3 guns in a single season, something like that to help. But I like their choices thus far. Just starting off with the first image of the vehicle. This vehicle is called the Untamed. It's kind of like a muscle car, but it's still a 4-door. They never switched the cars to 2 doors, really. I've noticed that anything that is a car, for the most part, is going to have 4 doors. The only thing that's actually going to be like players on it is a quad, and that's really it. But it's a really cool screenshot. It captures the car. 88, they've been going with this racer theme for a little bit now. As you guys can see, it's dropping the bombs in the background. They caught the, I was finna say they caught the frame right before it dropped. But hopefully they actually fix that in this season. They still have bad problems, but I don't know if the map's really gonna help it. But he's jumping a canyon, as you guys can see. Seems like a pretty cool idea, and that just alludes to the theme, like I said, that this was a canyon based map. That's what I thought, like, from the first screenshots I looked at from it, and it's just continuing to show me pretty much. It's like the Dukes of Hazzard type car. It's really dope. Also, we have another vehicle, which is the Torque. Now, the funny thing about this is this color that they're showing here was what I expected on the first screenshot for the car. That'd be like Dukes of Hazzard thing, but that's something completely different. Y'all are here for new. This car is called the Torque, and apparently they're supposed to be about the same as far as the Untamed goes, but the Untamed is a bit more of a muscle car, whereas this is still a muscle, but it's not as powerful as the first car, as the Untamed. It's a little bit slower, but it still has that speed about itself. Also, they have added in a new form of quad, which is the Gazelle. I really feel like this design was kind of lackluster. It didn't really add too much to it. I like the style of it. I'd rather have this style four-wheeler rather than the basic standard one that we have. It's just a slightly different take on what we already have, but I think it's pretty solid. I like the palette on it. As you guys can see, like in the front, it doesn't seem as like flat and put together. It's like more armored, I guess you could say, in a way. It looks a bit different, but I like it overall. And for the last car that is actually coming, which is the Racer. We've already had the Racer. It's the Lambo. If you've played within the last month, you know the game recently got Lamborghinis, but they're not called Lambos. Obviously, they're called Racers because they don't have the licensing for that. But I really still think it was a pretty cool idea adding in the Lambos. I just kind of feel like they should have did a little bit more before adding in certain things, like actually fixing gameplay elements, stuff like that. Once again, we'll get into that later in the video. In the two new weapons that they've actually added a Scar H, not to be confused with the Scar L that's in PUBG. This is the Scar H. It's been in games like Modern Warfare 3, but once again, they don't have the licensing, so they call it the Heavy Assault. But it's a purple rarity weapon, and it's medium to long range. It's an assault rifle. It's really solid looking. I like the design they went with it. It says this beast represents the modern automatic rifle and the exceptional precision, stability, and rate of fire. Available as a rare drop in purple crates, the Heavy Assault is more powerful than a KH, but has a slower rate of fire. It's time to lock and load, kids. Okay, problem with the image though. One slight issue. Whoever's designing these, they really got to make sure they work. Okay, so the damage is 4 tiers. The accuracy is 4 tiers, and the firing rate 5 tiers, right? And 5 being the highest, if I'm correct. So how is it exactly slower in firing rate than the KE? If it's 5 tiers and it's tier 5, that would technically mean it's the fastest firing weapon between the two. But that's just me nitpicking. We also have another weapon, which is the Commando. The Commando actually makes me kind of happy because it kind of reminds me of the Commando that was in Black Ops 1, if any of you guys were Call of Duty fans. This is actually a common weapon. It's short to medium range, but it's a full auto assault rifle. Damage is 3 out of 5, accuracy 3 out of 5, firing rate 3 out of 5. And the description that they actually have for this is that this weapon is a fully automatic assault rifle that pretty much has low recoil, and it also says that the weapon will be a common drop, so it'll be available as something that's on the ground. Commando offers more pop than an AR at close to mid range, quite matching its accuracy at range. Shotgun rushers beware. Now I really want to know how strong this thing is up front, cause like, dude, it's already 3 out of 5 as far as damage. Shotguns are probably like, if we're on a scale of 5, I would put shotguns at probably a 25. But I am happy to see that they're trying to add in something to make it to where it's not so shotgun based. Because I've noticed a lot of the times when I'm playing, like, the game for the most part is like shotgun based, but the MP7 at a point in time, like if you play early H1, you guys know the Hellfire pretty much the best gun in the game, most people would say. I don't think it was the best, but me personally, I do think it was better than a shotgun at close range. So with them doing that, I really want to see how good the damage on this is going to be, scaling and whatnot. But that's all the news that we have for today, guys. Hopefully you found this video very interesting and helpful. If you guys did, definitely be sure to drop a like. Also, let me know in the comments section, guys, what are you looking forward to the most out of this update? And are you actually going to come back and try this game? More than likely, I will be coming back to try it. And this update launches August 1st, which is Thursday. So hopefully it's a solid update and they actually be able to get the update out on time, because they've had problems with that as of recently. But I don't want to talk about the negatives. We're gonna stay positive. We're gonna end this video off positively. So hopefully you guys did actually enjoy the video. If you guys found it informational at all, definitely leave a like, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.